What up, everybody? Welcome back to the 350 channel, where we talk about everything that's Crf50 and pit bike related, and I also go over the process of getting your license plate for your Crf50 here in the state of California. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. So in today's video, I'm going to be going over all the lights that I have on my Crf50, along with how I installed it onto the Crf50 as well. I'll be adding a link to every single light that I'm using and go over the entire process. So fun fact, there's only one manufacturer that manufactures a dual sport street legal kit for a Crf50, but it's super hard to find, and if you find them, they're about like $575, $600 plus out the door. One great thing about that is the fact that when you hook it up, it is good to go to pass all your brake and light certification portion. All you need to have is the high output stator and 12-volt regulator installed, and their kit will install really easily. 2-wire harness, one positive, one negative, with a license plate mount, rear tail light mount, and 2 turn signal mount, along with a enduro style front headlight and turn signals. Again, everything that is approved for D.O.T certification. I personally didn't like that enduro style headlight, so I decided to make my own street legal kit. First, you're gonna need turn signal switch that goes on your handlebars. Those on Amazon range anywhere between like $13 to about like $25, $28 or so. They go from very basic, simple ones that are just your turn signal switches, high beam, low beam, and a horn, to other ones that are a little more fancy that have lights on it, LEDs on the back end, just so it lights up everything. So it really depends on what you want to do. I'll put the link in the description of the one I use on this Crf50. It doesn't have any lights on it. It's super basic and it's super simple. Next, you're gonna need a rear brake switch for your rear tail light. Every time you hit your brake pedal, that your rear tail light lights up brighter. Those range from like $8 to about $14 or so, maybe a little bit more on Amazon, again depending on the seller. I'll put the link in the description of the one I use. They're all the same. Some just have different angles, different depths, or different depths of thread you can use, but they're all the same. They all have the same functionality. They just pull a little spring that's connected to your return spring on the brake pedal, and your light goes off. And you're also going to need a front brake lever switch, so every time you hit your front brake, your tail light goes off. Those on Amazon are about 10 to about 15 bucks or so, roughly. And those will give you a little 2-wire switch you can hook up to your harness. That way, every time you hit your front brake lever, your rear tail light goes off, and they need to see all those functions to pass you in the test. And now to the more important stuff, and that's going to be your turn signals, your rear tail light, and your front headlight. So the turn signals have to be D.O.T approved, meaning they have to have the D.O.T SAE stamp on them. If they don't have them, the brake and light certification person will not even do the test for you. So I use K&S Technologies lights because all their lights are D.O.T approved. Again, I don't have to worry about any of that. Also, they have all kinds of different lights. I use these shorter mini stock lights. They were short. I didn't want things to be too bulky, but I did the shorter ones that were a little bit bigger, only because it is a Crf50. You're pretty much invisible, so I wanted to have something that was semi-visible, so I'm not getting pulled over all the time. And then there's your rear tail light. Your rear tail light I found on Amazon. It's a universal dirt bike tail light. The one great thing that it does have on there is D.O.T SAE on it. So again, that will pass their certification requirement. It was about like 15 bucks or so, and it was super simple light setup. It was 3 wires. One is your ground, one is your constant power, so your running lights, and then one is your brake light, so every time you hit your brake, it gets brighter. And last but not least is the front headlight. The one I used when I did my brake and light certification was this really big Amazon aftermarket like Harley light, and it just clamped on to the front of my handlebar, or the front of my forks. It looked ridiculous. It was definitely not made for the Crf50, but it worked to pass my inspection. Once I passed the inspection, I switched to some two dual light bars, dual 7-inch light bars from Amazon. They were about like 20 something, 25, 20, almost $30 for the pair. And they were dual 7-inch slim light bars. And I was able to get those to mount to the front. Again, I got those 7-inch light bars after I passed the requirements for brake and light certification. Also, when I took the bike in for CHP for VIN check, I did have that really big, obnoxious Harley light on there. That way they wouldn't fail my VIN inspection. So I made sure that the big light was on there. Once I passed all that, I went home and swapped it out to the dual light bars that I have on it now. So what I did to mount everything to the CRF50 was I made a few sections: a front light section, a rear light section, a wiring harness, and a brake switch mount for the foot brake. So the way I install this kit is super easy. First, I take off the plastics and gas tank. Then I put my wiring harness on. Now I can mount this brake switch to the other side. Now I got this installed. Now that that's on, I can slide on the rear. Then we'll put the front in place. Tighten everything up, plug everything in, and put the gas tank and plastics back on. We're good. And there it is. So really just make sure you're prepared before you go see your brake and light inspector, that everything functions properly, your brake lights work, your front headlight works, and your blinkers work, and you shouldn't have any issues with them passing you. And thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and I hope to see you soon out there with your street legal CRF50 pit bike.